Breaking news from the hot stove. The coaching carousel is preheating like a Thanksgiving turkey fryer that's just had a frozen bird dropped into it. Boom. Boosters are texting, ADs are just checking in, and somewhere a buyout clause is getting highlighted. I'm Faux Jimmy Sexton, and this is a hot stove edition of Agent Confidential. Rivalry week is when jobs are won on the field and lost in luxury suites. Every AD is saying we're committed to our coach with one hand and scrolling their contracts with the other. And yes, the name everyone is watching is Lane Kiffin. Whenever Lane trends, 3 fan bases panic, 2 boosters fight, and 1 plane tracker melts down. There's no such thing as a drama-free Lane Kiffin job transition. But apparently Florida and LSU don't care because they're the ones stoking it. Here's the truth. Lane doesn't need any job. Sometimes the threat of Lane is almost as valuable as the reality of Lane. But here's what each school is selling. LSU: resources, roster, stadium, gumbo, and championship rings. If you want to play for trophies, LSU is the quickest path. Florida: the brand, the recruiting base, deep water fishing, and sunshine. Lots of sunshine. Florida sells the idea of a reboot, even if patience in Gainesville lasts about as long as a halftime interview. Ole Miss: we believed in you first. We backed you loudly, and we'll move the goalpost again if we have to. And that loyalty matters, especially to a coach who reinvented himself in Oxford. Meanwhile, Notre Dame is always lurking in the shadows, quietly evaluating, whispering with boosters, and pretending they're above the chaos, while refreshing spreadsheets that my guy Nikolai, their resident MBA, keeps sending me labeled better financial options. And Penn State? Happy Valley remains the most ironically named town in college football. Nothing gets the stove hotter than a restless blue blood that's really tired of being called solid. Lane isn't the only burner heated up. Auburn is 1 loss away from a pressure cooker even Jimmy can't explain. Every Iron Bowl season, someone compares Auburn to a horror franchise because every year there's a new sequel. And yes, it is common knowledge that Jimmy has purchased a private island in the Caribbean entirely with Auburn buyout money. To be fair, the plane I used to fly to it was paid for with Texas A&M buyout money. Shout out to my man Jimbo. #Air Sexton. And watch the programs that almost lose this weekend. Near misses can be as dangerous as blowouts. Nothing spooks a booster like nearly losing a game that you're supposed to dominate. That's when somebody starts asking, do we have Jimmy's number? And trust me, they always do. Now for Jimmy's hot stove rules. Rule 1, silence is a strategy. If you're not hearing leaks, it's because someone already knows the answer. Rule 2, the first number is never the real number. If the public contract says 8 years, $80 million, there's always a shadow number underneath. Rule 3, someone is always more desperate than they look. The school saying, we're fine, is usually the one refreshing buyout clauses at midnight. And that's your hot stove update from the Agent Confidential desk. I'm Faux Jimmy Sexton, reminding you there's no such thing as a calm November, and absolutely no such thing as a drama-free coaching transition. More tomorrow, unless a booster calls first.